honorable colleagues. I rise to move a motion on the need to bail out ailing industries to absorb the teeming unemployed graduates and create wealth for the country as a matter of urgency due to the number of graduates we churn out every year. I beg that this motion be allowed and all the relevant rules be suspended for me to take it now. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so there are two legs to
representing the good people of our North Federal Constituency. I rise to second this motion, bearing in mind that in my constituency, I'm seconding the motion ably moved by my brother and the House Committee Chairman of Finance.
The teaming unemployed graduates and create wealth for the country. The House knows an alarming 1.3 million new graduates pass out every year from the over 170 accredited universities for National Youth Service Scheme. It is estimated that there are about 20 million unemployed graduates in Nigeria at the moment. Also knows that the above number does not include those who are excluded from the national service on account of age or who attend other institutions of higher learning that do not present candidates for national service, such as holders of OND and NCE, and those who attend the national open universities. Unfortunately, the majority of the graduates lack the technical knowledge and capacity to become self-employed or to create employment opportunities for others. Further knows that as a result of the collapse and closure of many industries that would have employed those graduates, they are now left to roam the streets of major cities in search of unavailable jobs. In the process, are exposed to the risk of kidnapping, prostitution, cultism, armed robbery, and other sundry crimes, as well as falling prey to the antics of employment scammers who take advantage of their desperation to exploit them. Aware that many states of the Federation, which are dependent on allocations from the Federation account for running the states, recently got bailout funds to pay salaries of workers. As a result, cannot be looked upon to provide employment for their graduates. Recognizes that the federal government has introduced people's-friendly programs such as Trader Money, Empower, Outgrower Scheme, and so on and so forth, to cushion the effects of unemployment. But it is like a drop in the ocean in comparison with the number who do not have access to the portals on which those opportunities are advertised. Further aware that another program that will bring some stronger impact in the immediate future is the school feeding program, but the expected correspondence link between those programs and employment opportunities inherent in them, such as engagement of caterers, which is expected to lead to increase in food production, establishment of new farm settlements, empowering young graduates to go into farming, are limited, and the system of farming in the country is obsolete and lacking modern mechanism, thus becoming unattractive to the graduates as an employment option. Cognizance that unless the federal government takes drastic steps towards redirecting this trend, the country will continue to experience geometric rise in ritual killings involving young people, brigandage, internet fraud, terrorism, and other sordid crimes. Before now, however, honorable colleagues, Nigeria's economy was full of activities in the areas of manufacturing, textiles, tire production, food processing, vehicle assembly plants, to mention a few. It is on record that the House has raised a series of motions on the need to complete the Ajaokuta Steel Company, which will have been the bedrock of development of the economy. We have also at many times intervened in the power sector. All these actions were to improve the economy and create employment opportunities and generate income apart from oil. Observe that Nigerians are forced to leave the country to other lesser African countries, amongst others, such as Libya, Ghana, South Africa, etc., in search of greener pastures, when in those days the reverse was the case. Note that this bailout will help reduce the country's dependence on imports, increase income and gross domestic products of the country, boost the foreign reserves, thus leading to economic buoyancy and reducing dependence on oil as the major income earner for the country. Honorable colleagues, fellow Nigerians, we must think outside the box to bring our country back on the foot of development without crude oil. Where are the following companies today? Arewa Textile Mill, Kaduna Textiles Mill, the Michelin, Dunlop, Steyr, Anamco, Alumaco Cadbury, Oluwa Glass, Tate Industries, Bashita Sugar Company, Jeba Paper Mill, Alaja Steel Company, Sapele Wood Industry, Food Specialties, so on and so forth. As the most populous country in Africa, if we are technologically driven and harness the brains our citizens are using in the areas of internet proficiency within and outside the country, human capacity and technology should be our major source of income, just as it is for other developed countries. The time is now to act. The House therefore resolves as follows. Urge the federal government, 1, to initiate a process of identifying specific and critical industries in the country that will be part of the bailout program. 2, devise strategies that will lead to improvement in power supply, especially to serve the industries so as to prevent them from going under due to the high cost of power. Design bailout strategy for ailing and collapsed industries, both publicly quoted and privately owned companies, for resuscitation, devoid of bureaucratic bottlenecks, and demand for collateral along with the equipment and assets of the industries. Apply the bailout through the Bank of Industry, Bank of Agri, Nigeria Export Bank, Import Bank, at a single-digit interest rate with 3 years moratorium. Include cooperative and microfinance banks, development banks of Nigeria in the bailout programs to lend to businesses at single-digit interest rates to help boost the stock and sales of those businesses. Appoint managers, possibly from the pool of unemployed graduates, through the participating banks, to join the management team of each entity to ensure the revival of the industries and full repayment of the bailout funds, after which the managers will be eased out of the companies or retained on agreed terms. Give tax incentives to the ailing companies, give preference in access to foreign exchange and other critical inputs, and make adequate provision in the 2020 budget for this program. Mandate the relevant committees of finance, industry, labor, and productivity to liaise with the federal government to actualize the bailout proposal to the ailing and moribund industries in order to address the problem of unemployment in this country. Honorable colleagues, I so move.
Those in support of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. I know it's an
1.3 million graduates without corresponding opportunities for employment. This is why we have a lot of criminal tendencies, criminal cases, even for innocent citizens who are not interested in going into criminality. They are being lured because they have nothing else to do. There are so many opportunities for us. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, if the government can identify, let's say, 100 companies in Nigeria and approach the major banks, World Bank, African Development Bank, and whatsoever, and say we want to resuscitate these 100 companies and take a loan to do it, I think that Nigeria will be better off for it. We will not have issues of Nigeria. This is the essence of this motion, Mr. Speaker. And I appeal to all my colleagues to see, because I know that so many youths call you every day, day in, day out, looking for jobs, looking for government jobs, where the jobs are not available. If we are also able to look at our school curriculum and go more technical, rather than this economic history, government studies, it will be better for us as a country. Why is Chinese? Why are they better off today? Because they are all technically based education. For us, we have so many departments, yes, but we need to go more technical than we are today. This is just the synopsis, and I appeal to my colleagues to please allow this motion to scale through so that Nigerians will be better off, your constituents will be happy, that this has happened. Thank you very much.